You're not a failure for having a gaming backlog, and you shouldn't try and beat it. Let me explain. At the start of the year, I made it my mission to make some sort of dent in the gaming backlog that I have slowly harvested over the last 20 or so years. I sat down and I wrote down every single game that I either own or want to own and have either played a little bit or just never played at all. And after finishing the first game on that list with GTA 4 in a matter of weeks, and then also making a YouTube video about my experience playing GTA 4 for the first time, I didn't finish another game for 4 months. I dabbled with a few hours of Red Dead Redemption, but sure enough, after a couple of hours, it was back in the Steam graveyard. It wasn't until the release of Resident Evil Requiem that I was reminded of a whole series of games that, again, I had played briefly years ago, but then completely forgotten about. And so, for the first time since the couple of hours that I cashed in 2023, I sat down and I played the Resident Evil 2 remake. And I finished it in like 3 days. And after finishing the Resident Evil 2 remake, I then finished the Resident Evil 3 remake, the Resident Evil 4 remake. I had a little side quest with the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I also finished. And then I finished Resident Evil Requiem, just to top things off, all in a matter of weeks. It was the most that I had gamed and streamed in my entire life. And the more I played, the more I finished, the more I realized why. It sounds stupidly simple, but these were my type of games. Third-person survival horror is just my thing, and it scratches an itch unlike any other genre can. And naturally, as gamers, or even just people in general, we're going to be drawn to things that we like. And the more we like something, the more likely we're going to stick around and see it through to the end. Which brings me to the mentality change that I've had ever since I started playing the Resident Evil franchise again. It's okay to have a backlog. It's okay that you played a little bit of a game, and it's okay that you might never play it ever again. It just means that that game might not have been for you, and that's okay. It's not a waste, and there's nothing wrong with you for not wanting to finish it or not play it at all. Everybody has preferences, and being a gamer and consuming this art form is just like consuming any other. Just because a movie gets a 10 out of 10 from a critic doesn't mean that it's going to be your favorite movie of all time. It doesn't mean that you're going to watch it, and it doesn't mean they're going to watch the whole thing either. Just because someone gives an album a raving review doesn't mean that it's going to consume your whole life and be spammed in your headphones or your speakers 24/7. And just because a game is scored incredibly well doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to play it yourself, love it, resonate with it, and play it through to the end. Everybody is different, and nobody loves everything. And that's what makes it so much more special when you do find something that tickles your pickle. At the start of the year, I'd gotten it into my head that there were so many games released over the last 20 years that were so highly regarded that I have to play if I want to consider myself a gamer. And there have been plenty of incredible games released, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to play them or I have to enjoy them or that I have to invest hours and hours of time just because someone else says that they're good. I have tried many a time to play and finish The Witcher 3, one of the most highly regarded and critically acclaimed games of all time. I've sunk several hours into Geralt of Rivia over many years, but it's never quite stuck. The scale of that game is incredible, but I also think that it's the thing that stops me from enjoying it. For me, it's too big. That's what she said. I know it's going to take me like 40 hours to complete the game, and then countless more hours if I want to explore the entire world on Roach, see every little nook and cranny and collectible that the game has to offer, and that fucks with my brain. For other people, the scale is the best part of Witcher. It's their favorite element of the game, but for me, it's a roadblock. So as great as people say Witcher 3 is, I don't know if I'll ever complete it, and I've realized recently that that's okay. I've found my niche. And there are outliers. There are games that do have scale that I know I'm going to enjoy or I know I have enjoyed in the past. Like Grand Theft Auto, for example. I've played and finished GTA 5 multiple times over the last 13 years since it was first released. But the scale of GTA 5 has never bothered me. And maybe that's because of the speed of which you can traverse the map. Maybe it's because of character variety, mission variety, vehicle variety, combat variety. But it comes back to just knowing what about a game captures you and keeps you engaged. You don't have to play every great game ever made. You don't have to play and complete every great game you've ever bought. There's more than likely a reason that you haven't finished it in the first place. Those games might just not be for you, and that's okay. You're not a failure for having a game in backlog, and you shouldn't obsess over beating it. Games shouldn't be something that you just tick off a list. They should be something that you experience and something that stays with you long after the credits roll.